Hey guys, welcome back to the Prehistoric Life podcast. I'm your host, Eric Crawford, and today, I'm about to smash everything. This month, we're doing Sauropod month. I know last month I gave y'all the option, Hadrosaur month or Sauropod month. This month I'm doing Sauropod month because I want to do Sauropod month. Granted, like last month, there will be a few other episodes. Hopefully the painting buck episode will be up. I've got 2 or 3 interviews lined up for the month of October. Get excited with that, including Palmetto Fossil Excursions, trying to do that, and hopefully an interview with some people called S and Me. They're archaeologists. We'll talk about that whenever we interview them. But right now, we're doing the big bad barosaurus. So here is the baro. As you can see, it's got a really long neck and a really long tail. Yeah. Look at that. So you see what makes a sauropod? Got the really long neck, the really big body, the 4 legs, and the really long whip tail. Granted, this one looks a little different. Ooh, let that camera adjust. So let's get into the measurements of the big bad barosaurus. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right. Barosaurus. It's about 85 feet long, weighed about 25 to 30 tons. Not pounds, tons. And it was about 40-ish feet tall, so it's about as tall as a Rex. Like 40 times longer than one, and it weighed like 100 times more, but that's besides the point, and that is an exaggeration. His diet was tall trees, ferns, bushes, berries, baked beans. Just kidding. Its fossils were found in North America. I was about to say North Carolina. I do not think that's right. It is a large herbivore. I did not spell sauropod right. That is my bad. This should be S-A-U. Let's get a little fix here. Yeah. We'll just erase it all together. Sauropod is S-A-U-R-O-P-O-D. Other interesting facts are alone. It lived in forests and jungles. It had a thick neck. It probably lived, like I said, forests, jungles, maybe even possibly a swamp, or not on a river's edge, but like where the forest starts. Any of you have ever been on a lake where there's like the sand and then the lake, and then this like lake sand is in the woods, probably near that area, maybe. It had a thick neck, real thick neck, for defense, so that you couldn't easily bite into it. A whip-like tail. It was discovered in the Morrison Formation by Miss Isabella R. Ellerman in 1889. So, yeah, that's big bad barosaurus for you. It is of the Diplodocus family. So what does that mean? It means so. How can I do? I need to get like a Diplodocus thing. So Brachiosaurus, its head goes more up. So Brachiosaurus is more like this. Diplodocus is more like this, if that makes sense. Diplodocus's head goes out. And that's how these things go. So their head is like this instead of up like this, if that makes sense. So you have Brachiosaurus where it's like this, and then Diplodocus would be like the head was bent here. For those of you who are wondering. But they're still a sauropod because they're the giant, big old dino boys. Put that back up on my shelf. Yeah, I mean, so it's more of a Diplodocus. Diplodocus. Um, yeah, and it shares. Oh, what would that be? Like a genus, I guess. It's very similar to the. Oh, wait, hang on. Catodocus. Catodocus is very similar to the Catodocus, I guess. So yeah, I mean it's very similar to that because they're both diplodocians and other things. Yeah. Um so there is a mounted skeleton cast posed depicting a specimen rearing up to protect its young, now considered a Catodocus specimen, from an Allosaurus foralagus in the American Museum of Natural History. So I guess Catodocus is very similar and is the one dinosaur that you look at it and you look at barosaurus and you're like, these two things are very similar. It's got the long teeth here. Hang on. It's got the very long, very, 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 very. It's not that long. It's got the longer sauropod teeth that it would use to grind against the fern. This is actually a Camarasaurus tooth. Please do not get that confused. This is Camarasaurus. There's some information on the back. Tooth that I got in Dinosaur National Park. So I'll leave that here. Most sauropod teeth are not the exact same, but similar. And there's a skull cast of this one in the Natural History Museum of Utah. Yep. I do have a video of how it sounded. So it's about 19 seconds long, so it won't take long. So yeah, let's listen to this. Deep bellow. Let's listen to that one more time. Yeah, so it's got that deeper bellow. It's got that real deep bellow to it that you would think a giant reptile like this would have. And yes, I said reptile. Sauropods did not have feathers. We talked about that with fossil crates, Dr. BC, Brian Connors. How sauropods, they would find the skin and bone sample and they wouldn't have feathers. Also, they're giant hulking creatures with a lot of like fat and muscle on their body. What would they need feathers for? Let's be real. For what? Insulation? They have like fat. They probably had blubber. of some kind, some like weird blubber mixture. So yeah, I mean, barosaurus is pretty cool. I personally like it, and I'm going to show this one last time. The very long barosaurus. It's got the whip-like tail, the very thick neck, as you can see there. Very big old thick body. You can actually see the outline of my camera right now. And then the really long whip-like tail. I'm going to let my camera readjust. So, yeah, that's barosaurus for you. Honestly, barosaurus is pretty cool. I like it. I like the long neck of the barosaurus. How it's got like a super long neck. Barosaurus is actually really cool to me. I like the thick. Personally, I am more of a fan of like the Brachiosaurus kind of look than the Diplodocus kind of look, but I still like the Diplodocus like look, like the Barosaurus versus. Well, the most obvious example would be like Brachiosaurus versus Diplodocus, but I think they both have their own charm. This here is a Brachiosaurus, so please do not get that mistake for something. And as you can see, I do have paint and stuff out. That is for the painting buck episode. There might be something where like next week you'll see it spray painted or something. I've got to prime it, and I'm gonna put some like coats of like spray paint on it first. So I'm gonna like spray paint the major colors, and then with y'all, I'm gonna use this acrylic paint. There's the brand if anybody's wondering. And I'm going to do all the details and stuff and have fun with that. I might use a Sharpie on it. Don't get all offended if you do a bunch of minifigure stuff. But yeah, we're also going to watch Jurassic Park 2. And I know I started that. I know I started the movie already. I'm leaving that episode up. It had its own place. But I'm doing the movie again. I do not care. I'm doing it again. This time, hopefully, I'll be able to actually record it and have the movie up too. That's just what I'm praying. But back to Barosaurus. Barosaurus is really cool. I personally like it. I think the long, super crazy neck was pretty cool. Last episode, we did dinosaur vocals. Barosaurus was not one of them. I do not think so. But, yeah. This has been Prehistoric Life Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Crawford. Remember to follow on and check out the YouTube for early. I was about to say early action. That's not right. That's like college stuff. For early content, I try to post all my episodes basically as soon as I'm done recording them. I just immediately post them to YouTube instead of letting them hang out in the ether for a day like I usually do with the other content. But yeah, so I try to post early on YouTube, but I do what do you call it? Schedule them on the other platforms. Such as Spotify. I do on Spotify. There's also podcasts that I do that we do. There's Apple Podcasts. Last episode was dinosaur vocalization. So please go check that out. And like I said, follow on YouTube. Go check out our website. There you go. You get the little video in the background. You can see it better if you actually go to the website. And from the website, I can actually scroll all the way down. Hopefully this works. And go check out the Instagram where we get all the additional content. There's our interview from the Fossil Fiends. We get all the additional content. So, welcome to Sauropod Month, where we're doing a lot of sauropods. The long neck, big old bruisers. But remember, go check out our other content. Not other content, but go check out the other platforms. And I will see you all next time. I'm your host, Eric Crawford. Remember to go follow me there and subscribe and like and check out, etc., whatever the words are. And I'm your host. Remember, keep it prehistoric, and I'll see you all next time.